Hey YouTube, Untamed here. I'm pretty stoked because today is the day that I get to share my thoughts and insight of this brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off Road. So shout out first off to Ken Ford here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, my hometown. You know, the GM was courteous enough to let me check this out and get behind the wheel for a minute of it. So today I'm gonna highlight all the features with you guys today, show you the things I love and don't love so much about it, and I'll wrap up the video with do I recommend buying this if you're in a position to do so. Stick around. You know, I don't always do formal automotive reviews, but when I do, I'm right next to a busy freeway with a military base over there flying helicopters. We'll see how this goes. So here are your key fobs for it. So obviously you got your standard key fob here on the right, but on the left we got that credit card key fob. You know, stick it in your wallet and forget about it and be able to hop in your truck and start it up with no issue. So let's start with the exterior walk around. I'll kind of highlight some of the unique aspects that make this Toyota Tacoma special. So brand new for 2024, we have a full new redesign and it does look pretty killer. I definitely love the look of it, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of the 17-inch machined alloy wheels. They're kind of reminiscent of what we found on the 2010 Toyota FJ Cruiser Trail Teams, if you recall. Kind of the black center, but with that silver ring on the exterior. I kind of like that. Now the front end is pretty menacing. I think Toyota did a really good job at making this be an aggressive looking truck. And I do think it is better looking than the mid-sized competition out there. Granted, I do have a little bit of a bias. I've owned a number of Toyotas, of course, a lot of them being Tacomas. But I love the look of it. Love the wide fender flares. Kind of down the side and get a good idea of what we're talking about. I think that looks sleek. And even they're going to be even wider, of course, on the TRD Pro when that starts hitting the lots here, and the Trailhunter, of course. Here's a closer look at those 17-inch machined alloy wheels. Got that TRD badge there in the middle. The tires are 265/70 17s, and these are some trail terrain BF Goodrich tires. When we're talking about the suspension, let me hop into there for fun. Suspension, we're talking TRD Off Road tuned suspension with Bilstein shocks. That's what we're working with. You know, one thing that very few people talk about is the remote start capability that you do have with your stock OEM key fob here. You just hit lock 3 times and you're going to hold it on the third click. And when you hold it, you'll see the lights flash and then it'll start in a few seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Should flash. There you go. And it should start up. There it goes. So yeah, not too many people talk about that. One thing that was a bit of a bummer, we're going to test it right now. Previously, on previous generation models, whenever you open the door, it actually cuts off. And check that out, it keeps running. So that is a plus, kind of a small plus. I don't think too many people are going to really talk too much about, but there you have it. You can do a remote start and hop in, then hit your TRD start button there to get going. So let's talk about the bad things, all right? Let's get that out of the way up front. And I think we can kind of chalk it up to 2 different points, okay? And I think this is kind of based off of what I've seen a lot of you guys type and respond to my previous videos and what I personally believe too. So the 2 bad points I will throw out is, of course, we're now working with the 4-cylinder engine. But, and this is a big but, I do think that this is going to be a pleasant surprise for a lot of people. Yeah, I've just scooted it around the parking lot here barely, and just already first impressions, it is super responsive. I love that. It is a 4-cylinder turbocharged platform, a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. So a very small engine. Of course, there will be a iForce Max coming out with the TRD Pro with the Trailhunter soon enough, right? And that's going to crank it up a little bit, hybridizing the platform itself. So the fact that it is a 4-cylinder engine and no longer a V6, naturally aspirated V6, which we've gotten used to with the Tacomas of the past, that's going to be a point of contention, right? I think a lot of people are gonna meow about the idea of it, and myself included. I'm gonna try to be honest with you guys, but I do think this is gonna be a pleasant surprise for a lot of us. The second point, and I might get more pushback because I know there's mixed reviews on this, but I don't know. I don't love the fact that it is solely built out of Mexico now, and I'm worried that Toyota might push the 4Runner over to Mexico totally because it's built on the same platform. It's gonna have the same engine options, I'm sure, with the 6th generation 4Runner. So I'm nervous that they're gonna push that, which has historically been built out of Japan, over to Mexico. So I'm not excited about that idea. You know, sure, Toyota sets their expectations and their standards extremely high, and I don't doubt that they're gonna have the best of the best in their facilities down there, in their manufacturing plants and their production lines. So I have full faith in Toyota, but the fact that it is, you know, cheaper labor and it is in Mexico and they're exposed to things like the cartel, we know about that. It's just things like that for longevity and long-term business down there. I don't like that idea, but I trust Toyota knows what they're doing. Now I think where this is going to shine, even with the smaller displacement engine, is off-road, right? We have all the off-roading goodies that we've gotten used to with the Tacoma platform, like crawl control, like multi-terrain selection, like downhill assist or ascent control. But this one here with the off-road tune Bilstein suspension and the rear coil spring multi-link suspension, I think really does set this vehicle up for success. Let me show you up underneath it a little bit. There's an idea of what we're working with. So the Bilstein shocks. I do think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with how well this performs off-road. It's going to live up to that pedigree, that's for sure. Not to mention with the Tacoma in particular, this is a no-brainer, but you know, it's smaller than the Tundra, right? Much smaller than the Tundra. The turn radius is much better than the Tundra. So for those reasons alone, it makes for much better off-roading and, you know, driving through and navigating tight trails. So let's get a glimpse of what this 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sounds like. It looks proportionate. Maybe the front end seems a little longer than what I would typically like, kind of reminiscent of what we find with the Toyota Tundra. Unlike the previous 3rd generation Tacoma, this one does have a spray-in bed liner. This is a $575 option. We'll show it there on the window sticker here in a second. So I actually prefer this. I prefer this over the composite beds. You know, a little bit more durable, a little bit more appropriate to do truck things, right? Show you the back. I think it has a lot of nice looking curves to it. Got the TRD Off Road sticker decal out back. There's single side exit exhaust, nothing fancy here. Tacoma is embossed, of course, in the tailgate there with their 4x4 badge there in the corner. Yeah, tell me what you guys think of the exterior. I am impressed at how much curvature to these fender flares they've actually given. That looks pretty awesome. One more far out shot, then we'll look at the window sticker and then hop in. One more side profile. The color is Ice Cap, which replaced Super White. And there is our window sticker, just over $51,000. So it does have the smart key system. So you just put your hand behind the handle here. This isn't new, but it'll unlock for you. And if you're gonna lock it right here, there you go, we lock, just that easy. You do not have them on the back, just on the driver and passenger doors. All right, let's check it out. Let's start with the door panel here. I can give you a good look at it anyway. There you go. I like that they have TRD here. It's nice and subtle, it's sleek looking. It's not too much and too gaudy, because I think Toyota can accidentally implement design cues that are perhaps a little too gaudy. But I think this looks really nice, really mature looking in here, very sleek. it does look like a spot you want to hang out. Fabric seats, of course. Like the look of those. Oh, nice to the touch. Some nice design cues within it as well. That two-tone fabric coloring. All right, let's hop in real quick. So no grab handle right here. All right, let's look at this interior. Let's shut the door. Maybe get some of that road noise out from the freeway there. You have your big red TRD push to start button up top here. Foot on the brake, hit that. There's your startup display. Fully digital display, much like we find in the new generation Tundra as well. In this we do have, I think we just went Spanish. I don't know what just happened. All right. So in this one we do have the upgraded 14-inch display here for the infotainment. Otherwise it is standardly an 8-inch display. Turn the fan down a little bit. All right, what do we have down here? We have our wireless phone charging tray. We've seen that before throughout Toyota. They do a good job with that. And these, historically, in my experience, have been pretty good, actually. You can put that there, your phone there with the phone case on, and it tends to do the job nicely. Slow, but at least it charges, right? Down here, we have our tow controls and our driving mode selection and our multi-terrain select, as well as our downhill ascent control and our crawl control dial right here. Not gonna be able to put that on display here in the parking lot, of course, but your controls are right there in your face and easy to use and easy to navigate. Maybe in another video in another day, I can give you some more off-roading, video of this. No, definitely a nice space to be. So I am 5'9". I'll give you an idea of where I sit in it. So a few inches anyway, especially with the sunroof cutout here. Give me a little bit more space right there. Black headliner. That's always a nice add from Toyota at this point. They've historically gone with a gray or a tan headliner, so I like seeing that. Let's look at the steering wheel controls here. Obviously, our standard stuff here, our cruise control, our lane keep assist, or notification alert rather. Driving, or you can go through modes for your radio, your whatever audio system you're using or preferring, your volume controls over here, and of course your phone options there for pick up and hang up. Auxiliary buttons here on the side, and of course your dash brightness on the left there. I do like this. This is kind of a nice, real grippy feel to it, so I feel like that will age well. And Toyota does a really good job at, I think, putting pieces in here on purpose, right? So they're very purposeful with how they build these vehicles, and they do build them to last. So I do think they do a great job at that, not putting things in here that are likely going to fall apart. The things that you touch the most are the things that they build to last. I do love this little shift handle here with the TRD badge right on it. That looks good. It's sleek. And again, another real nice grippy grab handle here for your passenger. And your rear center diff lock, don't want to forget that. That's always a nice add if you're going to be off-roading, of course. And very easy to use and easy to navigate climate controls. I love that. I think the Tacomas of the past, the Gen 3, was phenomenal with that. And this, I would say, is on par or better. So I do love seeing that they kept this very simple and very easy to use, very intuitive. So hats off to Toyota for that. Appreciate that. And your steering wheel heater, that's nice. Let's check out the back seat. Let's unlock it first. All right, so this is what I'm seeing a lot of gripes from people about. Not so much with this, but with the TRD Pro, with the upgraded seats, right? With the kind of suspension built into the seats to make it excellent off-road. However, they protrude a little bit more, minimizing even more the already limited back seat space in the Tacoma here. So this here, not ideal. Let me see here. So I had a lot of space right here, to be fair. I'm 5'9". I had a little bit of leg room there, so let's go up a little bit. I think that's more appropriate. So yeah, here we are. I don't know, I mean, maybe, what is that? 4 inches here. 9 inches if I'm talking to Mrs. Untamed. So there we have it right there. So I think that's quite nice. I mean, good enough. I mean, more often than not, I mean, this is going to be better, more appropriate if we're going to put kiddos back here. But it does work, especially not having, you know, the upgraded seats with the suspension built in with them, right? All right, let's check this out. Couple USB-C charging ports right there. Couple cup holders. Again, everything is just nothing more than what you need, really. And I do appreciate Toyota for keeping it simple. That's why we like Toyota's simplicity at its core is what we love. Your back window there. Got your sliding window from the center. Let me show you the headroom back here. So a little bit more with the additional cutout here, as you can see, right? So a little bit more headroom, which makes it appropriate for adults anyway. It is important to note that you can fit your George Costanza wallet just barely in the cup holder here. Sorry, you got to see that, guys. But there you go. You can fit a couple of those in there perhaps in your cup holders, which are nice. Collapsible cup holders, that's nice. Nice rubbery feel to the top here, grippy anyway. I don't think that's real leather. Can't really tell, I don't think so. And a very simplistic little center container space there. So all in all, I think this is a very pleasant place to be, and I mean that, guys. This feels right. It's just a matter of, you know, can you get used to the new power delivery feel of that 4-cylinder, right? The 2.4 liter turbocharge iForce platform here. Can you get used to that? That is going to be your biggest issue. So I've owned a 2023 Tundra TRD Pro and a 2023 Sequoia TRD Pro, sporting the iForce Max, right? You know, the 3.5 liter twin turbo hybrid platform. You know, to me it always felt a little synthetic, but the power delivery was exceptional. It would throw you in the back of your seat anytime you put on the accelerator pedal. So it really is a thrilling vehicle to drive and a thrilling platform. So I think really a lot of you, most of you are going to really appreciate this vehicle. All right, so the engine is running. It's pretty quiet. You're probably going to hear the freeway more than the engine right now. I wanted to show you the skid plate underneath. So pretty thin skid plate, but at least you have something to protect you a little bit as you're off-roading. And you do have those guys, which is nice. Tow hooks. You expect that on a truck. Another glimpse of the suspension there. And with it being the TRD Off Road package, it does come with the upgraded sound system, the JBL speaker system here, and it sounds phenomenal. I also didn't note that it does have this little interesting little storage cubby here with that you know, hard plastic exterior, kind of giving it a little bit more of a rugged look. So I like that. It does have 8-way adjustable seats, so plenty of adjustability here, with it being the TRD Off Road upgraded package here, to include some lumbar support and adjustment. Kind of see it protruding out there a little bit. Pretty nice. Another thing I didn't point out, it does have some bed lighting, which is pretty sleek, and of course the Tacoma embossed in the bed out back with the bed liner on top of it. A little bit of storage space here on the side. Let's check it out. Pop open the back, soft close, soft open kind of thing. And your storage compartment here. Let's check it out. It's a little cubby there. So nice to have nonetheless. Over here we have our 12-volt and USB out back, which is pretty sleek, easy to use, like that. Comes in handy. But yeah, there you have it for the back. Now I think we can poke fun at the fact that it has a 4-cylinder all day long, but the numbers don't lie, right? So with a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, it is cranking out 278 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque. When you compare that to the 3.5 liter V6 that was in the previous generation, the 2023 Toyota Tacoma, it had 278 horsepower and 265 foot-pounds of torque. So that is quite the difference, especially when we're looking at those torque figures, right? So personally, I'm very excited to get behind the wheel of this off-road. I want to see how it performs and how it feels as you're navigating some trails. I think that is really where this platform is going to shine, and even shine more so over its previous generation. Now, an important question we need to ask ourselves is Is it worth $51,300, right? Is it worth just $2,000 less than a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro? Obviously, the top trim of the third generation Tacoma was just barely more. It's just barely more than that figure right there. You know, and before we add on the upgrades, we are about at $43,000, but I do think these are much needed upgrades, right? We do get that 14-inch Toyota audio multimedia touchscreen, which is, I think, very important. I could do with or without the moonroof personally. I don't care that much, but I do know a lot of people who really need to have those. But $4,600 for the TRD Off Road package, right? So I'm not going to read it to you, but you can get an idea of what you're getting for your money. That's kind of a big upcharge, but I do think that is obviously an important bit of what makes this particular truck special. So historically speaking, we have come to expect 4 different things from a Toyota Tacoma, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself too, and I think we can all agree on these 4 things. 1, exceptional reliability. That's always at the forefront. Number 2, simplicity at its core. Number 3, excellent resale values. And 4, exceptional capability off-road. I think right off the top, we can check 3 of those boxes pretty comfortably at this point. When it comes to simplicity, I love this interior. Everything in here is very easy to navigate. Everything is extremely intuitive and just not confusing at all. And I love that Toyota kept it simplistic in here. It feels right, and it feels like a Toyota Tacoma. They didn't deviate much from the Gen 3, in my opinion, and that's a good thing. Reliability, Toyota's been building the turbocharged 4-cylinder platform for many years now, and they've gotten really good at it. They've gotten really good at building a reliable 4-cylinder turbocharged platform, so I think we can expect it to continue to be the case here in their mid-size pickup truck. When it comes to resale, obviously, well, that's a waiting game. We'll see how these fare, and some of that is going to depend on how much they produce, how many of these vehicles they produce. But historically speaking, even with high production numbers, Toyota Tacomas have fared extremely well, if not the best, top 5 often for excellent resale. And that's why I personally like them too. You can drive them for a couple years and not lose your rear end when it comes time to sell them. And I think that is wildly important. And one more point I'll throw out for the reliability factor. One thing I think Toyota does better than most other manufacturers is they deal with issues as they arise, and they deal with them swiftly. You know, unlike other manufacturers, when a recall issue or a problem arises with their vehicle, they'll address it, issue a recall, and get that, they'll nip it in the butt pretty quick. Whereas some manufacturers will let it kind of let it simmer for a couple of years, and that does nobody any good, right? So Toyota does a really good job at addressing the initial issues as they arise. Toyota, like every other vehicle manufacturer, is subject to the initial problems and gremlins and electrical issues that we find with new full redesigns, right? Anytime there's a full new redesign of a vehicle, there's generally some minor gremlins or issues and kinks that need to be worked out with the new vehicle, the new platform. And this is probably going to be subject to a few. I think we can expect that. But like I said, Toyota will likely address them pretty dang quick. And for the last point there, when it comes to the off-road prowess, I think we're going to continuously see this perform exceptionally well. We have all the off-roading goodies that we've grown used to: crawl control, multi-terrain selection, the rear center diff lock. There's already these built-in platforms that are tried, true, and tested at this point, and we can just expect Toyota to have built upon that and even made it better for this new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off Road. And one thing I just noticed that I really appreciate in vehicles, I found it with my Toyota Land Cruiser, is a very sturdy and heavy door. I love that, right? So this is just a very sturdy feel to this door. It's not flimsy. That door card is very well put together. Not to mention, you do have a metal door handle here. Everything here feels extremely well built. So the question is, would I recommend buying one? The answer is yes. I think we can expect this Toyota Tacoma, the brand new redesigned 24 here, to deliver the same exact feelings that we have experienced with our previous generation Toyota Tacomas, right? So I've owned a number of Gen 3 Tacomas. Half of them were built in Texas, and I think maybe 1 or 2 were built down in Mexico. We do know that they're fully built in Mexico at this point. But, as I get my hands on this one and I look around, look at the body lines, the body gaps, I can honestly tell you that it is extremely well built. They have a state-of-the-art facility down there in Mexico that they're coming out of, and I think we can continuously expect top-notch quality coming from Toyota at large. So I love it. I think we can expect it to perform exceptionally well. I think it's going to be reliable, it's going to be simplistic, and most notably, you're still going to be able to navigate those trails in comfortable fashion with all of your off-roading goodies. So I'm excited to get behind the wheel of one of these. Hopefully Toyota will give me an opportunity to go check one out and get behind of a wheel in an off-roading environment soon. I'd love for that opportunity, of course. So want to share this with you guys. I want to get your input on it. And again, I'll do one final shout out to Ken Gar Ford here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I do appreciate the opportunity to get hands on this vehicle. Unfortunately, this one was purchased before I arrived here, so I wasn't able to drive it around outside of the parking lot here, of course. But there will be a time in the near future where I'll be able to give you my thoughts on the driving experience of this vehicle on and off-road. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Sorry guys, I am not a good YouTuber, and I always forget to say it, and I know I should, but I would really appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing. I always feel ugly saying it, but I need to break that habit, and this is me doing that. So if you found any kind of value in this video, or would like to see more of my little bit more in-depth reviews like this, let me know. Please let me know in the comment section. Drop me a note and let me know what you would like to see. If there's any other vehicles out there you'd like to get my perspective on, I'm happy to share it. Thanks for watching as always. Until next time.